sore throat pending as well. I didn't show you, but we're gonna hit quick play and go back to the main menu anyway, as we get at 7 cursed random item stats. But yes, we are, if Future Jordan has thumbnailed this correctly, we should be doing a thing. I nearly forgot my background. God, I think it was 7 cursed at. But we will be playing a character that we've just played, and this time I'm gonna slowly introduce the plugin, basically. And I'm just being safe with my wording because robots before, not that I need to be safe here, but let's just get into it for the sake of timestamps. We are doing at 7 curse random item stat custom character once more, but this time we have a different weapon. I think both crowbar and sledgehammers are available to this character in their respective game, but we'll see what happens. Second encounter, charisma, light. Second mystery, strength, and maybe a knowledge check. But boy, oh boy, do we have a lot of mind to remember. So just showing off the sledgehammer really quickly here. And for those who likely don't know what this item does, especially if you're not, because it's not part of the base game and not part of any, what should I say? I guess DLC, even though that doesn't really exist. I say that because the fortune teller and Puppet Chan are two characters that the developer has given to you with the game. You just have to go looking for them in the folders. But as for what's happening here, these are not normal. I think I'll just name drop it here because the description may not be fine, but I can name drop it by voice, I guess. But Nexus mod should have this. It is the Provisional Extended Runtime modifier. I think that's the whole name, but shortened to PERM, P-E-R-M. Nails, Botanist, Akamanto, because we only have 2 custom mysteries today. Story and, okay, perfect. We get to test out the sledgehammer in its entirety, because what I was going to say is that I did do a little quick testing. I just went into a fight just so the weapon was working properly. There is one thing to note, but I mean, it's not so bad. So, Nails, Botanist, Akamanto, Story, and Feet. We want to take Feet and Story second and third at some point, so that means, I would rather fight Akamanto. Who am I kidding? Akamanto is not infinitely, a lot harder in my opinion, at least. If you save Akamanto for the 4th and 5th mystery. Now, normally I would take the Demon Mask, but because we are using a very slow weapon with high damage, and in fact, I think it's even doing even more damage due to random item stats. This is going to be a very interesting run. Obviously, I normally just tested the base sledgehammer, but in this case, as we roll a 10 on knowledge, so stats still... yeah, basically, I tested out the base sledgehammer. It was interesting, and when I get into an encounter, you will see why. So, little sore throat, but... So, as you can see here, with the 4 strength, and specifically it's 4 strength, because if I had 5 strength, we'd be able to do prep strong. As you can see, I can't do that. So you notice prepare your... Actually, no, I wouldn't be able to. I think I need more strength. But, so, let's just get this out of the way. 48, normally prepare your attack is 40 time units. And for some reason, so you can see attack boost is 12. So... While prepare your attack does show as 40 here, if I do attack boost, it should be 12, but for some reason it's still 10. I wonder if that's because of inner thing, and just to prove the point, so theoretically speaking, I should not be able to do 3 attack boosts into a strong. So I'll try to stay with it. If I accidentally do an attack boost, basically I'm going to try to play this as intended, but the game allows me to do 3 attack boosts. This is because the sledgehammer is supposed to... increase my action speed by the 0.2 modifier there. But for attack boost specifically, it doesn't seem to be able to do that. That's all I'm trying to say. We can do another test, because theoretically... Well, actually, it's hard to test, but you get the point. Either way, though, with the sledgehammer, for weaker or lower HP encounters, we just do prep attack, which is still very, very good. Also, I think it's not being affected... Yeah, so if this was actually... base 8 damage, we'd be able to one-shot this encounter with a strong, but that's not working correctly either. So again, the little finicky things could be the base game, could be the plugin itself, but I'm just showing here that things are happening with the interaction of item and game. But anywho, I did not use the police station. Let's use that. We don't have Vigil Hospital. We do have Nails, so we are visiting the hospital location a fair bit. So I guess for now, we do have, I think a bulletin, but I don't remember. So all I know is we're fighting a lot of bosses. That was the most important thing to remember, for me anyway. That was stamina, that was not reason. So now I'm a bit more worried about this character's HP, but it's not over till it's over. That at least can still stay stable, no matter how bad RNG gets. Unless you've lost in any game, really, but in World of Horror, unless you've lost to Stamina, Reason, or Doom, yeah, it's not over yet. Now, I could have had 7, 8, maybe, barring Mizuki, we wouldn't have passed that charisma check. Funny enough, I'm going to take this bottle of sludge so I can throw at Akamanto here, because I think we will need it. So, I mean, yeah, point taken. So, handcuff play. And that bottle was worth at least -1 all, but really -3 because this character can't brace. If you can brace, then you could say -1 all. That bottle of sludge saved -1 all. But if you can't brace properly, yeah, saving, essentially throwing that bottle of sludge grants more HP than keeping an empty bottle. Unless I'm doing my math wrong. I could have been. Actually, we do have botanist, by the way, so I thought it was not bulletin, botanist, but still. And then, yeah, we need to take feat and story now. We'll save story for later. Maybe we get it's not L, second sight. And if nothing else, we have Doom to spare so we can rest. But this is a lot, as opposed to the previous episode, these runs are a lot nicer. Even if we are using, theoretically, a little bit worse than average item. Or if you're not used to using slow... Yeah, if you're not used to using slow but high damage weapons, they can present a problem. But just objectively, or more objectively speaking, at least in my opinion, it's objective. Yeah, when your stats are lower, slower weapons may provide more issues. That's guaranteed experience. All right, I'm just going to take that every single time. I don't believe in my stats enough to really pass, unless my strength is at like 9, which is not likely to happen. Yeah. By the way, we take running shoes here. So this character has one of the second sight whatever perks, but also has escape artist, which is nice if we get stealth. If you don't get stealth quickly, doesn't really matter. And actually, it matters less because we're going to be in a lot of encounters / fights in which we can't run from. This is not one of them, but we need to, yeah, so 5 strength. And this is because we have the sledgehammer equipped, so it also makes our defensive actions slower, which include brace. Which, yeah, means not being able to do that is a big negative, but the whole point of using a slow weapon is to deal a lot of damage. Now, this is a really interesting threshold in which we're not dealing enough damage to get out in 2 turns, which is the... and also we're fighting enemies with a really threshold HP value. What do I mean by that? I might as well explain what I'm talking about. So what I mean by this is that if this sledgehammer were doing 8 damage, this would be fine, because then I get to do prep attack and get out in 2 turns. But because we can't, what ends up happening is that we can guarantee this attack, and the next attack with strong, just the math works out, trust me, bro. We have to gamble on the second turn, so 85% here. And if the time multiplier here were working correctly for attack boost, we would be gambling on 85%, which we might as well do here, but we're also taking 3 stamina damage, which is also not nice. But yeah, we can't get out anyway. And with a slow weapon, you're not in a very threshold HP fight like this. That's just what I call it. There's a better phrase for it, I think. Yeah, basically you want to be able to either one-shot or save a turn, which is not normally the case, because with most other weapons, no matter if it's fast or slow, you can get out in 2 turns in this encounter. But even that's not guaranteed, so we might as well just bet here and take a risk. With that said as well, we might as well trade off for reason here. And at least we can do that, just to even out our stamina and reason. This is in preparation of story, in which story has a pretty much almost, I think every encounter does all damage, like this one as well. But yeah, again, the problem here is that these are all not guaranteed attacks against bosses, so the sledgehammer sits in a very, very below average case. Now, that being said, could use Witness Curse, deciding not to. I know we have the Doom to spare, but we might as well use that to rest. Now, we did miss an attack with the sledgehammer, but hey. Now, the good thing about the sledgehammer is that if we do prep... I don't think it's enough, actually. Yeah, it's not enough. So we just have to take this next attack in the face. Yeah, the good thing about the sledgehammer is I think we still get to desperate prep attack, at least. Which doesn't sound like much, but if you look at how much damage you're getting, 14 HP, it's not bad at all. As far as desperate prep attacks, to put this in perspective, normal weapons with like a base damage of 4 do desperate prep strong and get 12 damage. So being able to desperate prep normal attack, pretty much guaranteed, no matter how high the speed is here. Actually, I think this is above average speed, or I think this is above the normal speed value that the sledgehammer has. But you get the point. It's a lot better, closer to 15. 15 would be appreciated, but 14 is just as good. But as we enter story here, yeah, we need to do a lot of rest. Keep in mind we have the Crestfallen Mask equipped, but we don't need to equip it yet. Oh, we have, you know what we do have though? Fetid Fumes. So, instead we're gonna Witch Tree twice and hope for the best. I'm looking at this mind wipe. It's not worth it. That's really unfortunate, by the way. Yeah. We do need to keep resting, so this was actually quite unfortunate. We do still have the Crestfallen Mask, but again, 24% Doom and resting a lot, we need at least like 9 to 11 reason with the sledgehammer we have. Now, what we can't do is throw this Rusty Sickle. Forgot how much damage it does, so we are gambling. And we're actually going to do a big gamble here, so... I think I do get 3, right? Yeah, I do. So I'd still be able to do 3 tack boosts because, theoretically speaking, 12 time units, we'd have 196 on our time multiplier. My question is, does this Rusty Sickle do at least... It does 4. Okay. I don't remember, by the way, but... Yeah, we're just gonna have to take the risk because basically if you're playing with the same custom mystery story here, and now we have this character's other weapon, but we might as well throw that as well because this our soft rule here is that we want to use the sledgehammer the whole time. I forgot what I was talking about, but anywho, oh yeah, if you're in story here, you want to turn most enemies. Now there is a ghost at some point, but yeah, not much I can do. Yeah, I mean, I think here we don't even need to throw the crowbar, because if we're going to take 2 all damage anyway, we might as well desperate prep attack. Now, that being said, our next encounter is a ghost, so we do need to rest here so that we can survive the ghost. Let's even just push it to the limit here. And off we go. Basically, once we get past story, this run will be a lot nicer. We actually just fight enemies back to back. I forgot my second encounter, but hey. And after I cough there, 1 stamina. I don't really mind if we miss here, but would be nice to hit. So yeah, why did we get an extra damage? Is it calculating my damage increase, or was that because of a thing I have? Well, anywho. Again, until we get stealth, it's not really worth running if we're just gonna 2-turn most encounters anyway. The flip side of having the sledgehammer equipped is that we get to sever for 2-turning here. Most of the time, most other weapons don't get to do this, so... This is the one saving grace this does have. And actually, that ghost encounter there does present issues. Because on your 4th... If you take story as your 4th mystery, I believe that encounter has 21 HP. Unless I am... I know I always complain about not remembering... whether HP and damage modifiers are correctly calculating for custom mysteries and custom enemies, but hey. So, yeah, the intent is to take just 2 hits to the face here. Are we going to be able to do that much damage? If we hit both of these attacks, we're fine. If we don't, we're in trouble. So yeah, we're just going to gamble. And off we go. Don't know if I would have done that encounter with the situation I'm in. What I mean by that is that Fetid Fumes is really hurting us, is what I'm trying to say. But... if we can stay relatively healthy... Second sight, please? Nope. We do get stealth, so that's gonna help us a bunch. But just to be safe, we're going to take stamina. Yeah. Because at this point, well, you know what? We'll take strength just to play around. Shouldn't be playing around here. Really should be playing it safe, but doesn't really matter at this point. But we can run from a lot of encounters. The downside is events could just slap us in the face, which, you know, as you can see there. So now we don't get the Restless bonus again, but we need to make sure we survive. Gonna visit history clip again just to see. And yeah, that's gonna help us a bunch if we don't decide to run. Oh goodness, my body. Basically, if we run into an encounter in which we can Ghostly Spear once and then one turn an enemy, then we want to do that. But really, that's going to be only relevant for the boss here. Yeah, that's all I have to say. So, yeah, effectively we have 62% Doom, so I don't need to worry as much. I really should just equip the Crestfallen Mask now. But, I mean, if this happens, then, yeah, you never know, right? You never know if you're just going to heal, like, 6 Rees in the next 2-3 events. Which is not very, very, very likely to happen, but in an encounter like this, yeah, we just run. And off we go. So, we don't have anything else. We're probably just gonna end up throwing this crowbar. Can we brace into anything? No. That makes me quite sad. So that's why Ghostly Spear here is going to do wonders for us. Now my next question is, do we even get to Desperate Strong? We do. 65%. Do I want to gamble here? Otherwise, I think we just crowbar in Desperate Prep Strong, Desperate Prep Attack. So again, showing some value. We get extra damage, so that's why it's 15, but close enough it doesn't matter. Unless it does. My brain is not willing to do the math at this point. But anywho, so on our next level up, we're going to increase strength. I'm just gonna equip the Crestfallen Mask now, and off we go as the mask gets absorbed into the character. But as for our stamina, on the other hand, yeah, priceless. I really want to make it to the lighthouse, but I don't think we're gonna even get to do that. So here's hoping. Yeah, here's hoping. I think we just used. Yeah, we just used Ghostly Spear. Just over and over and over again. We can go to about... Actually, with the lighthouse checks we have, I don't think we can actually go too low, so never mind. Well, we'll see what happens. Oh, goodness. I ruled a 12 there, really. I didn't remember that event, so I don't remember what to pick to avoid a stamina loss, but... You know what? Fair enough. That's me in a nutshell. We could actually mind wipe here. Do we get to level up if we do that? We do. Survival instinct, I guess. Just to survive a bit longer, but I really didn't want to lose reason here. We just have to take the reason hit. We can't risk the dog. I don't even remember how much luck this character has. So, let's cross our fingers and hope for the best. Hope that somewhere we get more stamina healing, aside from leveling up, which doesn't seem to be the case here. So, yeah. Do we get to do anything else? Probably not. I think we get really close to one-shotting this enemy. How many times did I use this? 5? Yeah. So let's actually do this. And we actually have to gamble. 92%. Okay, good. We have to recover stamina here. As much as I would like to take something else, we have to recover stamina here. And off we go. Click-me-clack of the mouse. Yeah. I mean, it costs Doom instead of Reason, but I don't know if I want to do that. We can just run away for the same bonuses there, so thankfully we find a hot spring in the middle of this forest, but we really just need to get out of this forest. I'm going to keep myself on this thingamajiggy here. Luck. Oh, okay, we pass. Guaranteed. Oh, yeah, because we have Survival Instinct. Forgot about that. We didn't need the funds there, by the way, so all I really did was hurt myself a bit more. But maybe we survive. It's a good thing I checked on Mind Wipe. Otherwise, I would have at least 2 or 3 people shouting at me to, hey, you could have forgotten Mind Wipe, leveled up, and recovered stamina. Which is something you do, like, before you, quote-unquote, lose, if you have the power to, with your last sudden death breath, because, again, sudden death... Funny enough, doesn't... no, I'm not saying it doesn't work properly, but things happen. But you might as well check through all of your screens and see what you can do, even if it's a status effect. Because funny enough, getting rid of a status effect could save you. Second encounter, I don't remember at all. But we don't have Toxi-san, so I don't really have to worry. So, whee! Now, at a certain point, I do have to stop. I'm just going to stop here. And if we take 9 stamina damage, I mean, we were going to lose anyway. So, although, no, that's not true. If we succeed both second checks here, which I don't remember at all, We could have rested more, but you get the point. So we took Akamanto first, I believe, because then we took feet and then story. So I'm just actually gonna say Akamanto. Oh, it was okay. I could have rested more. Well, if I die to stamina, I die to stamina. Oh, goodness gracious. We did take 5 reason damage. That was to be expected. I think that means I'm not taking more. Well, I guess we're gonna find out. So, if I rested, yeah, we could have rested 2 more times, which means we would have survived. But hey, we survived anyway. So hey, by the kind of the skin of our teeth. But could have been a lot harder on myself. But yeah, without further ado, if you have anything to say, if you want to see something in particular, or see me make something in particular, although that might take longer, let me know. Otherwise, not really much else to say. Thank you for watching. My sore throat needs the rest, and I'll see you later. Bye.